This is truly the most effective and best way to manifest anything that you want. In fact, once this happens, manifestation actually becomes automatic. This is that sort of magic sweet spot that I feel like so many people try to explain. So let me explain it in a way that actually makes sense so that you can use and apply this in the best way. So that instead of having to constantly try and force and chase your manifestation, you can just receive and receive it easier and faster. This was truly life-changing when I figured out how to do this. And to be honest, this is exactly how I manifest everything. So let's get into how I do it, how it works, and how you can use this correctly to start seeing real results quickly. Sorry in advance if you hear any background noises. There's construction going on, so you might hear an occasional jackhammer or someone throwing a brick into a garbage can. It is what it is today. And also, really quickly, if you're new here, I'm Mary Kate and I'm a mindset coach and manifesting expert focused on getting you transformational results. My whole channel is all about manifesting, the law of attraction with meditations and more, where I share the tools you need to get the results you want. And here on my channel, I pride myself in making manifestation make sense. I post brand new videos every Wednesday, so be sure to subscribe and also hit that bell notification so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. And before we get into this video and what you're going to do, go ahead and hit that little thumbs up button below if you're going to be trying this out. I really, really love sharing these tools with you, and it helps me kind of gauge and know that these are helpful, and I can see how many of you are trying this. So once you do that, let's get right into what you're going to do. So when I want to manifest literally anything, I actually use specific programming affirmations that I'm going to teach you inside this video. And no, this video isn't just about affirmations. I am truly going to show you how to basically manifest automatically using affirmations. Because affirmations are honestly just words until you know how to use them properly. Trust me when I say that, because years ago, I used to think affirmations just didn't work for me because I was mainly saying or repeating or using affirmations that other people or other books told me to use. And I saw zero results. Zero. Nothing happened. But it wasn't because they don't work. It's because I wasn't using them and applying them in the most effective way. To be honest, affirmations are just very surface level until you know how to use them effectively and how they work when it comes to manifesting. So let me share how I use them and what programming affirmations do. Whenever I'm manifesting anything new, I always first start with clearing out any limiting beliefs or blocks or reasons that my mind has chosen to believe on why something is hard or difficult or not possible. So I recommend you start there as well, because the truth is you can manifest something so much easier when you aren't holding on to resistance around it. Manifesting while simultaneously holding on to resistance is like trying to walk up the escalator that's going down. Has anyone ever done that accidentally? I mean, with enough effort, you could probably still reach the top going up the down escalator, but wouldn't it just be easier to ride the one that's already going up? When you clear resistance, that allows you to just be along for the ride without fighting yourself, without having to try so hard. And once you clear the resistance, you can then begin your programming affirmations. Now, here is the magic of programming affirmations. They are quite literally designed to form a new core belief. And once you form a core belief, that is when you start to manifest on autopilot. Because whatever you believe deeply actually creates and shapes your entire reality. Want a different outcome or a different reality from where you are now? Change your beliefs on how things get to be. That is the truth. But beliefs aren't these surface level things that you can just change right away. Especially core beliefs. They require constant attention and commitment, sort of like going to the gym. You wouldn't go one day thinking you're going to leave with a six-pack. It takes consistency and attention and commitment. And when you do that, you'll get the results. And if you want those results, that right there is the work. Attention, consistency, commitment to changing these beliefs. It's like a whole domino effect once you start this. Now let's get into how to actually use these programming affirmations to form those new core beliefs so that we can get you manifesting automatically. And the best part is that I'm gonna show you not just one way, but I'm gonna show you a few ways on how you can do this effectively. because manifestation is not a one-size-fits-all approach. And what works for me might be different for you. So I'll give you a few ways to try this. But the first way that I personally like to use programming affirmations is through something I call anchoring into an affirmation. This is actually something that I teach inside of Create. And if you aren't familiar with what Create is, it's an entire on-demand manifestation library filled with over 58 meditations, workbooks, training videos, and so much more. All of the content inside is actually organized into specific categories so you can get straight to the result you're looking for. And I even do a live Q&A every single month with the members inside where they get to ask me their questions, ask me where they're getting stuck in their manifestation, and I get to help guide them and answer those questions. If you want to find out more information on Create, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link up here and down below. But anchoring into an affirmation essentially means that you choose an affirmation, one that really resonates with you and one that you want to use to form one of those new core beliefs. And you sort of latch onto it and make it your focus for a whole week. I like to commit for 1 week to one affirmation because I find that this amount of time really starts to kind of shift things for me. So when anchoring into an affirmation, that affirmation is going to be your truth for that whole week. So no matter what comes up, no matter what life might look like that week, no matter what circumstances, situations, people, places, things, events try to disrupt this new truth that you're working on, no matter what happens, you commit to believing it. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. You are committed to that affirmation for the whole week. Believe it so much despite what everything else looks like. You have to fully commit and be unwavering. Be so stubborn in it that even when everything in your reality tries to show you otherwise, that you can sort of laugh and be like, okay, well, here's my truth. And you repeat it back to yourself. And I already know some of you may be sitting there thinking, okay, so do we have to write this or do we have to say this? And how many times a day? Or do I repeat it out loud or in my mind? Or all of these different questions on how to actually use this anchoring into an affirmation. How often? When do I do it? What time of day? Here is my biggest advice. Do not overthink or overcomplicate it. This is a trap that even I have fallen into over the years. I like to call it good student syndrome, where you just want to make sure you're doing everything perfectly and correctly. You want to make sure you're using and applying everything correctly. I get it. I'm a Virgo, so I really get that perfectionist tendency. But manifestation is not so black and white or right or wrong. There is a flow that you are going to have to find for yourself. So for this anchoring into an affirmation, say it, or write it, or do whatever you need to do to reinforce it for yourself, to make yourself believe it as a truth. How often do you do it? As often as you need. It's personal to you. I don't want you doing something just to do it because if you think you do it more or say it louder or do it enough times that it's going to make it more real for you. You are in charge of making yourself believe this is true. What's going to work for you? Does writing work better? Does saying it out loud work better? Does saying it in your mind work better? Find what works for you. It's personal to you. But let me tell you exactly what I do so you can sort of see an example of this anchoring into an affirmation in action. Again, if this resonates with you, use this. And if not, use something else. Find whatever you need to do to find your way in. I'm giving you the tool. You find out the best way for you to apply this tool. So when I'm personally anchoring into an affirmation for the week, I choose the affirmation and then I will typically say the affirmation 3 to 5 times when I first wake up, just in my head in a really casual way, just like how I would think any other thought that I believe to be true. And then again, at some point throughout the day, I would say it again in my head another 3 to 5 times, super casual the way I would think any other thought, and again 3 to 5 times right before bed. So morning, middle of the day, and again right before bed, 3 to 5 times. And listen up because this is key. You don't want to do this in a forced way because you don't want this affirmation to feel like a foreign thing that you have to do or you have to try at. It should feel relaxed, just like how you think any other thought that you think. You want your brain to absorb it that way, just natural, casual, relaxed. That is the best way for your brain to start believing something. I mean, think about it. You don't have any crazy feelings around the other stuff that you believe, right? You don't have to force your thoughts. They just flow. They're casual. Think of it that way. So that was the process of anchoring into an affirmation. Anchor into that affirmation for an entire 7 days, and then you can move on to a new one, or you could stick with it. Do what works best for you. So another way that you can use these programming affirmations is through either subliminals or affirmation repetition meditations. That was a mouthful. This is pretty self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go really deep into this or really take any time up on this. But just so you have some tools, I will go ahead and link a few of those down below for you to try out, either subliminals or affirmation repetition meditations. These are great options if you like to multitask because you can be doing other things while listening. I use these probably a few times per week while doing laundry or dishes or chores that I don't necessarily enjoy doing, because if I'm already doing something, I might as well maximize my productivity and get two things done at the same time. So be sure to try out some of the ones that I linked down below for you. And let's quickly talk about one more way that you can use these programming affirmations to form a new core belief. And then I'll end this video with some of my absolute favorite programming affirmations so that you can try them out for yourself. These are truly some of the best, as you'll see in just a second. So really quickly, the last way that I want to share to use these programming affirmations is going to be amazing if you are a visual learner. And for this, you are going to physically write out the affirmation that you choose, and you're going to place it in an area that you're near or that you go to constantly. Next to your bed, by where you get water, on your fridge, on your bathroom mirror, on the back of your front door, in your car. And the best part is that you set it and forget it. Or if you want, you can also combine this with the anchoring process in step 1 too. You can combine multiple ways of doing this. But basically, when you write this and you kind of set it and forget it in a place that you go often, your mind is going to constantly see it and pick up on it on a subconscious level and begin to absorb it that way. This is really effective and really easy. So be sure to try this one out, especially if you're a visual learner. So those are 3 ways that you can use these affirmations to form new core beliefs. And I'm telling you, core beliefs is where the magic happens when it comes to manifestation. Now, as I promised, let me quickly share some of my favorite programming affirmations. Feel free to try these out for yourself, or you can also create your own. The trick is that you want it to resonate with you. You want it to feel connected to you. So here they are. My success is inevitable. My expectations are always exceeded. People love to pay me generously for my work. My work changes lives. Everything always works out for me in the best possible way. Every day, in every way, my life gets better and better. I don't know how or when, but I know that it will happen. I am only available for best possible outcomes. I always get what I want or better. It's all lining up and working out in my favor. Okay, that was a bunch. I feel like I just threw a ton at you for you to try out. Go ahead and comment below and let me know which of those is your favorite, which one you're gonna be trying out. I'm telling you, these tools can truly change your life. This video, everything I've shared in it, once you learn how to do it, your manifestation will become automatic. I know it because this is what I use. If you feel like you've been missing kind of a piece of the puzzle of manifestation, this is likely it. Again, sorry for all the noise today. There's construction going on, there's people landscaping, but thank you for sticking with me through all of the noise. I even have our little Australian shepherd here just snoring away as usual. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that bell notification so that you can be notified whenever I post a new video. You can also find me over on Instagram and TikTok and Threads at MK Magic Mindset. And if you want to learn more about me, my programs, how to work with me, and more, you can visit my website at mkmagicmindset.com, and I will see you in the next one.